Alright gang, welcome back to our Can You Survive 25 challenge here on Zielonka. It is July, and it is Wednesday, so that means that I did not get a new series prepped and ready to go for you. I do apologize. I mentioned that, I know, in a post over the weekend. Some struggles with some time management there, with some things that occurred. So I'm a little bit behind. Now, I did get one map installed, and I started working on trying to get it set up, but still trying to get all of that, kind of finalized. It's not coming out exactly as I'm hoping for, and I really wanted to, be successful, so I don't want to rush it. So because of that reason, we're doing another episode here today, maybe even another one this Sunday, more than likely probably will be. So I do apologize once again for that delay. I know I keep kind of delaying it or keep teasing it and then it doesn't happen, but it's coming soon. I promise it is coming soon. I just want to make sure it's good, right? I don't want to release something when it's a little bit rushed, right? I just want to make sure that it's a success. So I'm just taking a little bit more time to make sure that happens. So last episode we forgot to remove our makeshift mill over here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that now. And then I'm just going to smoothen this area out a little bit. And again, we'll kind of clean it up and expand this field here to the left once that's ready to harvest, of course. But it's going to be a little while before that happens. And I can't smooth this out for some reason. Don't know why, but that's all right, I guess. Whatever. Bit weird. I guess maybe it is smoothed out. Maybe that's just a darker color. It certainly doesn't look like it to me. This one definitely isn't over here, I can tell you that much, but yeah, oh well. Anyway, that's all done now, and so today we don't actually have a ton to do. There is a couple things I want to do. One, and I don't remember if I actually said this in the last episode or not, but this field that I purchased here, I think I thought this was a canola field. It is not a canola field. It is a spinach field. We really can't do anything with spinach. Could I buy a harvester and harvest this? Yes, I could. We actually don't have enough money for it as it currently stands, so it probably isn't really worth the time to do that, and we'd probably end up losing money in the long run, of course. But yeah, it's not a canola field. That is a spinach field. I think I just saw that green and I thought it was canola and went ahead and bought it without actually paying attention to see that that was not a canola field. So we're just going to plow this field up, really, and we're going to get it prepped just like this field over here that we made to put some canola in there, because at current, we really only have 4 canola fields. We've got more sunflower fields than anything, although the 4 canola fields we have are quite large. Yeah, we're still going to do the canola field in both of these fields because they are going to be ready to be planted next month, or drilled next month. So we're going to kind of focus on getting this field prepped along with that field for that matter. So we'll focus on doing that today and see how things go. Used market, anything out there for us? So the fire truck's out here, which is a part of one of the the new DLC that came out, the free DLC that came out. I haven't utilized it. I don't think I'm going to buy it here, but it's kind of cool to take a look at it though. First time I've really looked at it, but that's kind of cool. Nothing really out there in the used market for us, unfortunately, so it is what it is. So we'll jump straight into the Dultzfar here, hook up to the plow, and we'll head on over there and get that field plowed up and start prepping for both of those fields to be ready to go. Now, we need to put some lime down on both of those fields, I think. Did I buy... I don't think I did. I was going to say, did I buy the soil sample? I did buy the soil sample. Now, if I buy it again, is it going to make it? Is it going to do anything for this one over here? I kind of feel like it's not going to. It's kind of expensive, but I'm not really too worried about $4,200, honestly. It did do it. Okay, good. Cool. All right, so we've got it now. We've got the whole entire field now, which is good for us. And we can get the lime and everything down that we need to now and make sure that it's all set up properly and ready to go for August when we put in some canola. A couple other things we have to do. We've got to do the maintenance stuff that we normally do every handful of episodes or so, or actually it's a little less than that, I guess every 2 or 3 episodes. At Farm 1, we need to move around some liquid fertilizer, etc. Just get those back into a decent spot, and yeah, we'll kind of go from there. A little behind on videos. I mentioned that already briefly about, the fact that, quite frankly, I didn't get a video out on Monday. I apologize for that. To be fair, I had part of it recorded, but I didn't have the full thing recorded, and I wasn't able to get the rest of it done until the following day, and then obviously edited until the following day. So I apologize for that. It just hasn't been the best of times right now. Things are just a little hectic for me, and so because of that reason, I do apologize. But we'll get back in the groove soon enough. You know we will. You know we will. Life finds a way to be a struggle sometimes for all of us, doesn't it? That now is no different from me. I've mentioned it already in previous series that the president of our company was let go. So now all of our jobs are kind of under a microscope, so I don't know what's going to happen with my job, and because of that reason, you know, I've just been a lot more stressed out than I normally am. And it's just been a lot busier, right? I'm having to explain my worth, and among numerous other things. Yeah, if you've ever been in a job where you have a situation like that, where you lose somebody who's pretty high up, and they've got some new people who really don't know the job at all coming in, they're going to be scrutinizing every single thing you do, right? So it's been a tough, turbulent time right now for me, unfortunately. Unexpected turbulent time. I thought things were going to finally start calming down here a little bit, and then this was dropped on me. So, yeah, it is what it is. There's nothing I can do about it. I just got to kind of play it by ear and hope that my job is not at risk. But I probably won't know that for another month or so, I would suspect. Maybe even a little bit longer than that before they make, their decisions. They've got to figure out exactly where things are and how things are working before they decide to do anything else, I suppose, right? I hope mine's not in that situation. I did do a presentation for my client, which is the largest client we have, but it's also one of the troubling clients we have, so I did a presentation to all the senior executives and everything else today, and I feel like it went well. I didn't sleep a whole lot last night when I was preparing for that, but I think it went well. I hope it did. So hopefully I'm okay, but we'll find out. We'll find out. I'm a little nervous. I've had that, we've had situations similar to this before, but it wasn't because of, the president of our company being fired, right? It was this instance, right? The other ones was, unfortunately, the guy that owned the company was the president. He passed away. We didn't expect that. The next one was just an interim guy who was taking over for a little bit until we found somebody else. And then we did, and then they had a president put in play, and then they got rid of that president that they put in place. So, I don't know. I don't know what to think. I don't know what to expect here, but, yeah, troubling times right now. I'll leave it at that. So it's nice to be able to get in here every once in a while and just take a little break from all of that. But, I like to let you know what's going on in my life, whether you want to hear about it or not. I do like to let you know what's happening and reasonings and all that good stuff. I like to be completely transparent and honest with all of you as much as I can, and that's where I'm at right now. So it's tough, but anyway. Hopefully by now, the time of this recording, we'll be back in the groove here, and we'll be able to start getting some videos out there early, especially for all of my members who do support me in the channel, and I do greatly appreciate that. Now, I will say that the shop is ready to go. Some of you already know that. If you're a member or if you're on my Discord, which is a shameless plug, there's a Discord link down below. You are at early access to it. I am going to do a more formal release this weekend for it. But the shop is up. The shop is running. It's live. So if you haven't, check the Discord out if you want to see early access to it. If not, like I said, I will do a formal release this weekend. I am going to be offering 10% off for a little while, at least the very beginning here of the shop, to everyone, just as a kind of a go live special, if you will. Very happy with it. At current, there's only a limited number of shirts that are out there. 4 from the farming realm, 2 from my other channel realm. As I mentioned, I'm kind of combining them together, just like I do my Discord, just because it makes it easier for me. So that's going well. I pushed that out a little bit as well over the weekend just because of the time stuff, but it was pretty close to being done anyway. I just needed to do a few minor modifications to finalize it and, get YouTube basically to approve it, because YouTube has to approve the shop if you're going to link to it. They have to approve it as well. So that all happened. It has been accomplished. So it is up and running. Now, I'm not expecting anybody. If you want to, you're welcome to do so, but I'm not expecting you to. But if you want to check it out and you want to buy a shirt to support me, by all means, I would appreciate each and every single one of you. I like the designs. Hopefully you do too. I think they're pretty cool. We're going to continue to work on that. I'm going to continue to do releases of shirts as we move along here. I'm probably going to do, at least right now, my current aim is going to be probably to do kind of a one new shirt release every month type of thing. I think that's a pretty good approach for, at least from my time. It does take me a little bit of effort to get those made and get them to the right size and make sure that their quality is right. So I think I'm going to kind of aim for a new shirt release every month. I think it'll be kind of a cool thing to add. Also make that a kind of a post that, is shared out. But I think that's a cool addition that we can kind of run. So we'll see how that goes. In regard to the series that is going to replace this series, at least for a brief period of time, as this series will take a break at some point here very, very soon. The map's downloaded. All of you were correct. I think I mentioned this prior, but all of you are correct. Going into a Wi-Fi perspective allowed me to get a map downloaded, but now that I've tried it again with the Wi-Fi, it's not letting me download anything again. So I don't know what the problem is. I have no idea what's wrong or what's going on here, but it's a big problem. So anyway, I did get one of the maps downloaded. Now the one map I got downloaded, we're going to be doing it. I'm very happy to do it. It just takes a little bit more effort and a little bit more work to get it to the state that I want it to be in, because there's a lot of prep work that needs to be done and needs to be put into it before we really can start that series. Whereas, if there's another series I've got on the plans here, it's a little bit, I don't want to say easier, but I guess for lack of a better word right now, I'm going to use easier to have set up. It's not as much prep work that has to be put into it. But the problem is, if I want to do that series, while I give myself a little bit more time to prep the other one and set the other one up, I can't even get another map to download, so I can't even attempt to do that if I wanted to. So it's just, there's a lot of things I'm just struggling right now with life. My life, I'm just struggling right now, all around the board. Farming Simulator, work, real life, everything's just a struggle right now, unfortunately. It'll happen, though. That'll happen, right? Such is life, man. Such is life. Let's see, what else? Not going to Toronto. I think I mentioned that yesterday, or maybe over the weekend. I don't remember, but not going to Toronto now. I had planned on potentially going to Toronto for work. Then the president got let go, and that was obviously put an X on. So I don't know when I will. Well, to be fair, I don't know when now I will be going to Toronto. So the good thing is I don't have to worry about it this week, as I shamelessly plug my other channel, because I'm going to be definitely playing some Halo Campaign Evolved this weekend. I'm very, very excited about that series. I mentioned that a number of times, I know, already before, but big Halo fan from the younger period of my life. Loved Halo for multiple reasons. So I'm very excited to play through the original Halo again and some updated graphics. It'll be interesting to see, if it holds up at all, or if they screwed it up. I really don't want them to, but I don't have a whole lot of faith in them to not screw it up, because they have not been doing a very good job with Halo ever since Bungie left. So that's my opinion. That's just my personal opinion. Halo Infinite was a step in the right direction, I would say, but I would still argue that it wasn't as good as Halo 1, 2, 3, or Reach, or ODST, right? Any of those. All of those are better in my opinion. And for me personally, I have, it may sound crazy to a lot of people, because a lot of people say, Halo 2 or 3 are the best, and maybe Reach. Some people say Reach as well. And I would probably tend to agree with them from a perspective of a lot of different reasons. But for me, personally, childhood life, early 8th grade, early high school days, which is really when that came out for me, I just have a lot of fond memories playing with friends, having 8, 10 TVs hooked up. We all bring over a small TV, we're all hooking them up, having a party, right, and just playing some Halo all night long. That is where my allegiance really lies, is that period of time, right? When Halo 2 came out, then you had Xbox on Live or whatever, right? So you didn't really have to go to each other's house, right? But there's something about missing that old time of going to each other's house and having to hook in a bunch of Ethernet cords and into a Switch and all playing you know, Halo on your own Xbox, on your own TV, with all your friends in the same room. It's just, it's a different feeling to me personally. It's just a different feeling. It's a different type of fun. And you know, it's something I do miss, man. I wish we could still do that, but you know, it is what it is, right? People move on. Life happens. Life gets in the way, as I like to mention so many times. And that's no different there either, right? Life happens to get in the way there too, unfortunately. So let me fill up some lime here. It's going to take a while. I'm going to buy some lime, I think, from the shop. I still haven't put a buying silo in here yet. Still, I'm not quite sure where I want to put it. It'll probably be a similar type of buying silo as what we had in the initial yard that we set up. You know, but we're also not that far away from the shop either, so maybe I don't. Maybe I just stick with going to the shop and getting this stuff, but I guess we'll find out, right? I guess we'll see how things go. I mean, if it gets to be a little bit more of a nuisance, then we'll put a buying silo down, but anyway, I will get all of this up at the shop. I will meet you over at the other two fields, and we will get those fields limed. And we'll see where we get to after that. Okay, I don't know what is happening on this map, but I have constantly, over the last handful of episodes or so, hit an invisible wall when I'm driving down this, road. I'm not sure why or what's happening, but there's some invisible wall that I just keep destroying and running into, and it just launches me up in the air. I don't know if it's maybe something to do with the weight on the front hitting some kind of invisible wall that shouldn't be there. I have no idea what's happening, but anyway. Also, there's no field course for this created field that I've got, so that's going to be fun. That means no matter what we do on that field, we're going to have to do it ourselves, which it's fine, but, you know, sometimes you would ideally like to be able to utilize a worker, right? But it doesn't appear that's going to be the case. So I guess we'll find out here again if I decide I'm going to, drill this invisible wall here or not, or if we're just going to be able to drive through it no problem. It's so bizarre. It's so bizarre. It's right around here where it happens. It didn't happen this time, so I don't know. I don't know what's going on, but that was absolutely bizarre. Anyway, so I bought more lime than I really needed to buy, but that's all right. We'll use it eventually. It's not a huge deal. So I'm going to fill up the remainder of this, and we'll head back to Farm 2 here, drop all of this off, and then we're going to head to Farm 1, do a little bit of maintenance type of stuff that we've been talking about doing, and we'll see what else we can get into today. Maybe we buy another field, maybe. We'll see. It looks like there's going to be a little bit of lime left up here, actually, as a matter of fact. Yep, there is. Small amount. That's all right. We can get that up a little later on. Okay, that's all done. We're back here in the barn here, so we'll go ahead and flip over to Farm 1. Once I can get there. There we go. And we're going to probably need to buy a little liquid fertilizer here, I think. Yeah, we are. So let's do that. It's going to be a significant chunk that we're going to buy here. I do know that our coffee beans do need some liquid fertilizer. They are not actually operating right now, which is a bit of a struggle, so we need to get that going. Liquid fertilizer. So I'm going to buy a pretty significant amount here, and most of it's just going to probably be stored in this tanker, but we're gonna put a bunch in here. I'm going to spend a lot of money. Reason mostly for that is I want to top up all the greenhouses, because here next month and the following ones after that, we are going to be very, 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 very busy indeed. And So I'd like these to all be completely maxed out before that starts to happen, before that busy period starts to happen. That way we don't have to necessarily worry about these, and we can go a couple of 3, 4 episodes, whatever it may be, without having to worry about them, right? Our water transportation system is still working well, so I'm not really going to worry about that too much right now. Right, I am going to move some over here. There should be plenty of this actually to go into the wood greenhouse, but just in case for some reason I'm mistaken on how much it actually holds, let's just make sure we top this up first. The rest of it, it can go in there. I don't really care, but I just wanted to make sure I didn't have to go buy more, you know, for the coffee bean greenhouse here, right? I've got the trailer a bit in the way there, but I'm hoping I can still unload this even with that there. Yep, perfect. All right, so I think we're good. We are. So we still have 34,000 liters of liquid fertilizer in here, which is good. We can just kind of hold on to it and top it up as needed as we move along here. Otherwise, I think everything else for the most part is doing well. Let's just take a peek here. The greenhouses are all good on water still. Yep, the wood greenhouse, it needs some seeds and solid fertilizer still realistically, but I think it's going to be okay for a while. It doesn't actually utilize all that much in the seeds form, and since we just gave it an absolute ton of liquid fertilizer, I'm not that concerned, honestly, about it. So we'll just play it by ear, and if we need to top it up later, we can certainly do so. So those are the main things we need to do today. So what else can we get into today? Well, there's a couple things we can do. One, we can start considering maybe buying some land up for Farm 3. We can start, we can continue, I guess I should say, to work on our land over here. We can buy some land to start trying to do the crude oil, right? I'd like to do all of those at some point, but we only have $511,000 right now, which I say only, like that's not a lot of money. It is, but when you start considering that crude oil, which I talked about before, it's really not that much money. So, this is way too much money. Yep. And this one I think is around the same amount of money that we have now. Slightly more. This one, you know, we could go with this one and plow it up the same way as we did here, but I think I'd rather not do that. So if we're going to start Farm 3, I guess the decision needs to be made, where are we going to put the yard at? So initially, we had a yard up here, right, on this plot 10 or field 10, whatever you want to call it. I don't want to do the same spot. I'd like to go somewhere different. And realistically, we're looking at somewhere in this vicinity probably for the middle. Obviously, this is going to have a lot more fields than the ones down here. But, you know, I would argue some of these are a little bit larger. You know, 16, I've thought about doing 16 before. Let's just visit it really quick. So I've thought about doing this before just because, you know, it is relatively flat. And it has this area here, which is kind of, you know, a small house and shed area, and it's got a nice little windmill that moves around. I mean, I kind of like that idea. You could probably utilize this windmill as our house type of thing, because really that's what it is. It's being utilized as a house. You can see inside there, right? There's stuff in there, so it's not like a normal windmill. It's just being utilized as a house. So I kind of like the idea of making this our house for Farm 3. But the problem is, I don't think any of these actually you can own that piece of land, is there? I don't think there is. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure none of these actually give you that. Yeah, they don't. So, you know, even if I wanted to make that our house, I really couldn't, because we can't own that. It's not a piece of land that we can actually own, which is unfortunate. So what is this here? Let's go here, because this is something that we can own. And it's got some silos on it, which is good. I kind of like the idea of actually buying for the third farm, you know, an area that, well, quite frankly, is something that's already pre-put down. It's not something we're making up out of our own imagination and mind. I wouldn't keep all this stuff. I would get rid of the shed. It's kind of pointless for us. I'd probably also get rid of this shed, or is this it might be it might have chickens in it. I think it does have chickens in it. Still, I'd probably get rid of that. I'd probably keep the house and keep the silo. Even though the house takes up a lot of land, I probably would still do that. We could remove some of these trees. Obviously, I can't do it with the Tree Devour mod that we have for Farm 2 because I have to have a completely different setup for Farm 3, and everything's down below in case you stumbled across this and do not know how all of this works. I'm not allowed to utilize any piece of equipment for any, if anything that I bought for Farm 1 cannot be used for Farm 2. Anything I bought for Farm 2 cannot be used for Farm 3. Anything for Farm 3 can't be used for Farm 1, etc., etc. You have to have your own standalone. Each one of those farms is its own standalone entity, and you cannot utilize or transpose equipment from one farm to the other, right? Yeah. So how much is this land here? Oh my gosh, why is it so expensive to buy land that has buildings and stuff on it? That is absurd. Okay, well, I do like the idea of this one, honestly. I really do, and I think this is the one I would like to go with. I think it's relatively central. These are probably a little bit further away, but still I think it's relatively central for most of the pieces of land or the fields. So I think I would like to go with this one. We just need a lot more money to get there, and we don't have that money yet current. So the only thing really left to do is to take a look and see if there's anything we can sell right now that makes a whole lot of sense to sell to try to get us there, right? We've got 8 minutes to figure this out, 8 minutes in-game minutes to figure this out. So, sunflower oil. It's not going to be best, I don't think, until March. I can't remember when sunflower oil is. Yeah, March. It's not terrible. It's not terrible. I can get 1755. It's not terrible. But I think we can do better than that, so I'm not going to sell those right now. The only thing that I would probably even consider selling are these chili peppers, lettuce type of stuff, because they don't fluctuate all that. They do, but they don't fluctuate all that much in comparison, right? So I think we're going to do that. I think we're just going to put it on auto selling and see what happens here. And if that gets us enough money to buy, then so be it. I know we're going to lose a little bit of money by doing the auto selling versus actually having them spawn and, and going in and taking them personally, but that's okay. There's not a ton in there, so I don't think it's actually going to get us to the $800,000 we want, but that's all right. And the last thing really to look at is where we're currently at right now, which is the roasted coffee beans, right? I don't know. Yeah, that was in March. So the price isn't terrible. It really doesn't fluctuate all that much either, so we could do that too. How much do we have in here? There's a lot. 94,000 liters. I tell you what, let's sell one. Let's sell one trailer load. It's going to be less money, of course, than we could make, and I totally get that. But the train would give us more, but we do have to lease the train, and it's not a huge difference between the farmer's market and the train, so I think we're just going to do the farmer's market. We know where that is. I'm not even going to put it on there. You know, it's the one right next to where our Farm 2 is right down there. So this should, in theory, hopefully help us get closer to the 800,000 mark. I still am not quite sure we'll get there today. And if we don't, so be it. Hopefully by next month we will, though. And then that way I can get, the train. I can get the tractor, I can get the tractor and the sugarcane drill, or cedar, planter, whatever, off the shop's land there, right? They are nice enough to let me house it there for a couple of months, but how long are they going to stay that way, right? How long is it going to be before they start getting upset that I'm taking up crucial land there that they could utilize to put other things out there to try to sell to people or allow people to sit there and, yeah, see, we didn't really make any money at all there, so yeah, I don't think we're going to get there, unfortunately. Yeah, we really didn't get there at all. That's a shame. I thought we were going to get a little bit more than we did out of that, but, it's fine. It is what it is. We'll go sell this nonetheless, and, we'll stockpile a little bit more money in the bank account for a little while. And hopefully by next month, when the time comes to, start working on the canola and stuff, hopefully we'll make a little bit of money. I'm going to have to go around this thing. We'll make a little bit of money just from our standard stuff, and I'm going to keep the pickle stuff on auto selling there. Maybe we'll get there next month. But if not, at least we know the amount of money we need to get to really, solidify our way to having a Farm 3 beginning. We still have things to do on Farm 2, though, right? We don't have a house or anything down. We still have things to do here. I'm still not quite sure what house I want to put down here, but The house is really the only thing remaining that we have to do to accomplish Farm 2's required objectives, if you will. Like I said, this is going to get us a lot closer. A lot closer. But we're still not going to be there. Yep, so we'll be about 150 or so away, give or take. So I think there's a real chance here in the next month or two we'll have enough to be able to buy that piece of land. But for now, we're going to leave the episode here. I hope you enjoyed it. I do want to appreciate each and every single one of my members first and foremost. I want to thank them for their continued support, especially the fact of what's been going on right now and me not being able to have as many videos out there for you to watch on a consistent basis. I apologize. I promise I'm going to do the best I can to get that back in the groove here as soon as possible. You know, unfortunately, life is in the way right now. If you haven't done so already, maybe consider hitting the like and subscribe button for me. They are free to do. It helps me out an absolute ton. Check out the second channel. Check out the Discord. Everything you need, as always, it's linked in the description down below for you. And, yeah, we'll leave it at that. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks for your support, as always. I'll see you next time.